All right. It looks like I'm unmuted this time. Yay! Last week I had a little bit of technical difficulties because I did not know that the mic automatically mutes when the video comes on. So I just figure when you're doing something great, you're always going to have challenges. That's always been the way it has been for everything that I have done. So I just kind of expect it and roll with the punches. So today we are going to be, welcome. Let me make sure I say hello. And in case you don't know who I am, I'm Mariah Young. I am the CEO of the Gals community. So I help women stop living in the narrative that others have written for them and help them start to be the author of their own story. And the way that I do that is I help them to discover their true self, dump the junk so that they can design their ideal life. Really, really important work to me. And so today, I'm actually going to be sharing with you guys my Team U resource, which you can see I've actually completely filled out myself. But I'm also going to share with you as we go through this signature self show and the stuff that I'm going to be sharing and teaching you guys and going with you. I'm going through this myself again. I really, really want to recommend a resource, which is the Classic DISC Personality and Behavior Profile. And so the reason I'm sharing this with you guys, especially right now, is because our prices for the DISC, I am the distributor for the 48 days DISC team, our prices are going up at the end of the year. And right now I can get you guys in on our Classic DISC for just $20 with my party pack. So if you're interested, please make sure that you let me know, and you can just, I'll have you Venmo me. And I just realized I'm using the wrong camera. Huh. Interesting. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. See, technical difficulties. There you go. That is how it goes. Okay, so anyways, I want to make sure that you guys can get that because we're going to be talking so much about knowing yourself and discovering yourself. And it's just a really great tool if you've never done one before to start to be more aware of you, how you tick, your behaviors and things like that. It's not to pigeonhole you, but it can give you some great things, like it can give you permission to be yourself fully. And it can also help you to say, oh, yeah, that's me. I might need to work on a little bit of that. Like for me, I'm easily distracted. I'm a high I, so easily distracted. So I cut off all notifications of just about everything because I know that if I don't, I'm going to be distracted. So it's a very helpful tool. So let me know if you want that. So moving forward, last week we did discuss non-negotiables and deal breakers. And those non-negotiables are like the things that you must do this holiday season. And I use this for all kinds of things, but right now we're using it specifically for the holidays. So the things that you really want to do, or as I mentioned this year, or excuse me, I think I mentioned it this week in my LinkedIn video, which if you want to go further into this, definitely check out that video. Asking your family, what is one thing that they want to do this year? Like what's one family tradition that they enjoy or one thing that they want to do? Because for me, this really helps to pare down all the things, because truly the holidays can get so crazy and busy, and you've got you got parties, you've got school events, you've got family to see, you've got gifts to buy. I mean, there's so much that can go on, right? And so being able to find out what those non-negotiables are that you want and your family wants can really help that to just cut down on all the stuff. Then there's also your deal breakers. And those were really the things that you're kind of done tolerating, you're done with, you're tired of, you're going to start saying no and for having boundaries. And so those are things that you can implement into your life. So this week, we're actually going to start talking about how you can actually let others help you. So the deal breakers and non-negotiables just help you to let go. And that's important this time of year because it just goes so fast and you can find yourself just extra stressed out, right? And that's not what you want for the holiday season. That's not how you want your family and your kids and everybody to remember you, right? Hopefully not. And to start writing your own story, you have to make some decisions on what you will and what you won't do. Okay, so there you go. So when it comes to holiday planning, do you feel like it's all up to you? It can be. It can feel that way. So I'm going to give you a little tool, and it's called Team, and I leave it blank. It's Team You. I want you to put your name in there. You can print this out. I already put it into the gals group, so you can actually print this out. I did try to make it easy to print. It has a little bit of color, but you can do grayscale, and I just like pretty printables. So sorry, not sorry. It should be a pretty easy printable. So some areas that I want you to think about this year for the holiday season specifically is what areas can you use another person, or can you use their help? Oh, yay. Hi, Stephanie. Okay. I please make sure you guys tell me, like, say hi, where you're from. That's the first time it's actually told me who's watching. So that's great. It usually just says Facebook user, which I'm like, who the heck is that? I don't know. So anyways, so specific to the holidays this year, I want you to be thinking about somebody that can help you, or a tool even. It doesn't have to be a person. Sometimes the tools that we can use can be on our team as well to help us get jobs done, right? So when it comes to, like, say, are you holding any events? Is there anybody around you that naturally is something they would enjoy doing? My daughter loved to help with events at our house. She was really good at, like, making, the table look pretty and putting things together. And, if I could just let go, that she would be super happy to help. She's very much like me. And so she has her own ideas. She takes initiative really well, and she's a leader. And so therefore, if I can let go and just let go of my expectations and what I want 100% and not want, let go of my perfectionism, she was an amazing help to me. What about shopping? I will tell you, I actually love Christmas shopping. And in fact, we used to make an event. It used to be that you could go to Target and you could get their little scanners and you could register for a gift list. And so we would do that with our kids every year. We'd make a date out of it. It'd be really fun. And then the family got, like, the things they wanted, the sizes the kids wore, all that stuff. And it was just a fun thing for us to do. They don't do that anymore, unfortunately. But one thing that my husband actually implemented was, a few years ago, he just put together an Excel spreadsheet of all the things that we were purchasing for people and the price that we spent, which has been really helpful, because this year, well, actually last year, we noticed, we're like, man, it seems like we can't just do $20 on our nieces and nephews anymore. Like, that's just an unrealistic expectation. The toys and everything that we would get for them, even for the little kids, were like 30. I'm like, so just knowing that helped us to budget better this year. Let's see. Oh, it's because I have used the StreamYard before. Oh, okay. Stephanie, thank you for letting me know that. Yeah. So that's why they know who she is. That makes sense. Yes, I am using StreamYard. It's great platform, by the way. What about gift wrapping? Could somebody else help you with gift wrapping? I have to admit, I used to love doing all the gift wrapping because I love making gifts look beautiful. If you've ever received a gift from me, it is like a thing for me. I don't just love giving gifts. I love packaging. I love packaging. It's ridiculous. I used to keep so much packaging because of that reason. But over the last few years, especially with all that we've had going on, I have had to allow others to help. And quite frankly, even though my husband he doesn't really love, like, all the decorating and all that, he actually is fantastic at wrapping. And if I will just let go of that, and then maybe I can come and embellish it and do all that stuff later, it's a perfect team. Like, I don't have to do it all. My kids are really good at wrapping. So, and quite frankly, if you're really busy, if you're a professional and you're just like, oh my gosh, I don't have time for this, why not enlist the help of, like, a gift wrapping group that is raising money? That happens a lot at bazaars and different places. So maybe look and see if there is a charity that you can support that is doing gift wrapping. There's nothing wrong with that. All right. What about decor? Again, my daughter loved helping with decor. So if I would just let go, and actually, I let go of the Christmas tree for years because I know how much my kids loved decorating the tree. And even though I always wanted a themed tree, I wasn't ready to let go of letting my kids enjoy that process. And so this will actually be my first year doing a themed tree. And I have to admit, I've been so busy traveling and doing all these other things that I'm just kind of like, yeah, okay. I did tell my husband that next year he gets to theme the tree in Die Hard. I'm telling you guys that out loud. I have witnesses and he has witnesses. I'm saying that out loud. My husband gets to do Die Hard next year for the theme. We'll see what happens. I'm letting it go. So there you go. That's part of my team, right? What about health? It's another thing that I want to be thinking about this time of year. And I'm going to share with you my friend Stephanie Colazzo. She is oh my gosh, all of a sudden I can't think, but she actually does a lot of plant food and she's a certified wellness coach. She's actually going to be on we're not really calling it a summit, but it's a holiday R&R for moms that we're doing this Friday. The one where I am actually going to be showing how to make this fun little gift. It can either be a gift card holder. It's not that expensive, or you can add a few more things to it and it could be a really great gift. I'm making about 10 of those and I spent so little. So I'm going to be showing how to do that. She's going to be sharing on health. Our own Amanda Goff is actually going to be sharing about body language because boy, especially this time of year, right? When we're all a little bit intense, you can actually kind of blow up based on body language. I know this for sure. Raising a teenager, we definitely had some of that on both sides, her and I, not just me. Not just her. It was both. So body language can be really, really helpful. And then, of course, our Michelle Dimbor, who is the Mom to Moms, is also going to be sharing some EFT body tapping, which if you watched my Disc and Diamond Pens last week, you would have seen helps create new neural pathways, which is so exciting. I love stuff about neuroscience and how we can change our lives. So anyways, for health, let somebody be a part of that for you. It's okay to not feel like you have to do it all on your own. And that's physical and mental. Mental health this time of year can be really rough because some of us have dealt with loss, whether it's a parent that we've lost, maybe it's stuff we're going through with adult children. I've been hearing that actually a lot more lately. Things that are happening in our lives we need support for. I actually am not sharing too much about this, but I think it's a really good option. There's now stuff out there like BetterHealth, BetterHealth or BetterHelp. I can't remember which one, but that you can actually schedule phone calls with psychiatrists and therapists and things like that. And so why not use something like that if you need to? Have a support group or have a friend that you can talk to. I really recommend if it's something that you're working through that's really big, like a loss, go and get some professional help. Have somebody. I love how one of my friends put this a long time ago. It's like a paid best friend, but who can actually help you move forward. It's huge. So don't neglect your mental health this time of year. What about relationships? I'm going to tell you, as a woman who is a new empty nester and have just celebrated that. Some of you may have seen my pictures. My husband and I gave each other an empty nester gift to go to Galactic Star Cruiser. That was an intentional decision to invest in our relationship. And somebody that I have followed for years that has helped me to invest in my relationship more than just about anybody else really has been the Dating Divas. I highly recommend getting them on your team for your relationship. They have free stuff. They have inexpensive stuff. They have printables. They have all kinds of things. Go to Instagram and look up Dating Divas, because I tell you what's the point of getting to the empty nester stage if you're not like amazingly in love, right? So put that investment in your relationship. Get them on your team. How about budget? Again, I told you my husband has been fantastic about actually writing that stuff down. And then we actually go through and we look at our Christmas budget ahead of time. We used to do a cash Christmas. We now do credit cards again, but we actually stick to the budget. Like we're very careful about that. So we don't want January and February to come around and then we're having regrets because of our decisions in December, right? So really look at that and look at everything. What do you need for parties? There's all the school parties, there's teacher gifts, there's do you have family gift exchanges, your inner family, your whoever you go and visit, hostess parties, whatever it is that you need, networking parties. What do you need gifts for? Put it all on there. What about food? Are you hostessing a dinner? Put all that on there because seriously, you're going to be so much happier. I know sometimes we don't want to look at the budget and we just want to kind of hide from it. I get that. We have been there where we're like, I just don't even want to look. I don't even want to look. But I promise you that if you look and you plan it out ahead of time, you're probably going to spend money no matter what. Well, you are. You're going to spend money no matter what. But if you can look at it ahead of time and get that put down on paper and write it out, even if you go a little bit over, you're probably going to go less over than if you didn't write it down. I'm just putting it out there. And what about schedule? One thing that was really great that my daughter used to do, is both annoying and great, was she would always say, hey, we need to get this thing on the calendar. Like, hey, I've got this thing coming up for school. We need to get it on the calendar. And I used to always take that upon myself to put on my calendar. Well, once we all switched to having smartphones, which my kids each had them as teens and we had them, we all had a Google Calendar. So I would say, hey, why don't you go put that on there? And that way it's in our calendar. When I'm scheduling stuff, I will see it there and make sure not to plan over it. And so she actually became really good at making sure she put things into the calendar because we had a shared calendar. That was huge and helpful. Doesn't all have to be on you. How about communication? Communication during the holidays can seem absolutely daunting, right? Because you're trying to communicate with this side of the family to get things scheduled, and this side, you're trying to find out what everybody wants. I used to do this thing where I usually did this stuff while I was driving, but I had what I called my side secretary. My kids knew they could totally drive shotgun when they're old enough, but they absolutely knew, even my nieces and nephews, that they were going to be my car secretary. So, hey, I've got all these people that I need to answer. I need to get back to. Because usually for some reason, my brain always turns on while I'm driving. And so I would just let them know, like, hey, can you text this person? Hey, can you email this person? Hey, can you ask this? And so they would sit there and have the little conversations for me. And it was great. Use Siri. Siri is actually fantastic. I know talk to text can sometimes be a mess, but you know what? Most people know these days that you are doing that. So use Siri for communication if you have to. Find ways, people, or tools to help you this year. So sit down. I listed off several things in this video. You can go back through it if you want to and actually look at who can help you, what can help you. Like I said, tools, people, all of that who can help you this time of year to make it not so stressful. Because if we look at the story that we want to write for our lives, I don't know about you guys, but I want my story to be amazing. I want my kids to be able to look back someday when I'm no longer here and be like, man, mom lived an awesome life. But that takes writing my story and not just allowing the things that are happening to me to be the narrator of my story. All right. So let me just say this last thing to you, and then I'm going to let you guys go. And you can actually catch me if you wish. I'll be actually on my personal Facebook page, my business page. And I don't know why I added LinkedIn to this one. I was just looking at my pages for planning on where I was going to put it. And I realized, oh, LinkedIn actually wasn't on that one. But my disc and diamond pens, I'm going to go through a little bit different take, but almost the same thing. So don't feel like you have to catch it. But if you wanted to hear a little bit more, you can catch me there. But here's what I want to tell you, ladies. You are super capable. You can do anything. In fact, if you make decisions of who you are and what you want to do and where you want to go, you can do anything. But also, you are super capable and you can do anything. I was just telling someone today that is both a blessing and a curse. And just because you are capable of doing something does not mean that you should do it. So this is a really great time of year to practice your yeses and your nos. Say yes to the things that you really want to do and say no to the things that are not an automatic hell yeah. If it's not an automatic hell yeah, you probably need to say no. All right. So I hope that you will join me next week. We are going to be going over shopping. Woohoo! And not just gift guides, but also how your personality and you might actually go about shopping. And I'll have some tips for you there. So again, I just want to re-mention the DISC Party Pack. If you've never taken a DISC, it is an excellent resource. You get about 25-page report on you. It'll actually have stuff on your workplace. It's going to have stuff on how to communicate, all kinds of things. And until the end of the year, I can get you guys in on that for just $20. So let me know if you want that. It's a great tool. It can actually help you. And with the Signature Self show and all the coaching and tips and tricks that we're going to be going through, it is a great tool for you to have now so that you can be using that as we continue to move forward. So, all right, ladies, thank you so much for joining. I sure do appreciate you. And Stephanie, thanks for saying hi. And I'm so glad that I got to know that it was you. I'm not sure who the other person was. I have a feeling it might be Dawn Renee. So hey, Dawn Renee, hello. I love you guys. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you next week. Oh, I'm going to be an hour earlier next week. I don't know what happened. I had planned these to be at 4:00 my time. The time zones are really getting to me. I'm really working on this. Somehow I made it 5:00 my time. I don't know how that happened. So I'm going to be an hour earlier next week. It will say it in the planned event, luckily, and so you'll know. But I look forward to seeing you guys next week. All right. Have a great day. Bye-bye.